Throughout history, the most powerful men weren't just known for their strength or achievements, they were known for their discipline, especially in the way they spoke. They understood a truth that many overlook. Words shape your reality. They can earn you respect or cost you everything. They can build empires or burn bridges. Yet in today's world, too many men speak without thought, blurting out emotions, exposing their weaknesses, or regretting words they can never take back. But a Stoic man, he never wastes his breath. His words are deliberate, sharp, and full of meaning. Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Do you struggle with controlling your speech, or have you mastered the art of speaking with discipline? Because by the end of this video, you won't just understand the importance of measured speech, you'll know exactly how to master it, just as the greatest Stoic men in history did. Let's begin. The power behind your words. Why control is key. In ancient Rome, one of the most revered Stoic emperors, Marcus Aurelius, grasped a simple yet profound truth. A man who cannot control his speech is a prisoner to his emotions. Every word you utter shapes not just how others perceive you, but how you perceive yourself. The power of speech is unmatched. It has the potential to inspire or destroy, to unite or divide, to elevate or diminish. Your words are not just sounds, they carry your reputation, your credibility, and your strength. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever admired someone for their ability to stay calm and composed, even in the most stressful or chaotic situations? Now think about those who react impulsively, who speak without considering the impact of their words. Who do you respect more? The person who responds recklessly, or the one who maintains control, always speaking with purpose and thoughtfulness? The greatest men throughout history were known for their wisdom, not for speaking endlessly. They understood that their words were powerful, and that every time they spoke, they had the opportunity to either build or destroy. The Stoic philosophy teaches that less is often more when it comes to speech. If you find yourself speaking too much, especially when emotions are high, you risk losing control, not just of the conversation, but of your own dignity. In today's fast-paced world, we are constantly bombarded with opportunities to react, whether it's a heated debate, a comment on social media, or a stressful situation at work. The temptation to fire back quickly is everywhere. But here's the critical point. Reacting in the heat of the moment rarely works in your favor. When emotions drive your speech, you often regret what you've said, and it can have long-lasting consequences. You lose control, and your words lose their value. A Stoic man, however, never lets himself be baited into a reaction. He knows that true strength is found in restraint. When faced with a challenge, he takes a step back. He doesn't rush to speak. Instead, he pauses, giving himself time to think, reflect, and consider the long-term impact of his words. He speaks only when it adds value, when it's necessary, and when it aligns with his purpose. Every word that leaves his lips is intentional and measured. This is the art of control, a skill that every Stoic man must master. It's not about saying less for the sake of it, it's about speaking with a purpose. It's about choosing your words carefully, making sure that when you speak, your words resonate with authority and wisdom. Here's the first challenge for you. Before responding to anything, whether it's a comment, a disagreement, or a challenge, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is what I'm about to say necessary? Is it wise? Does it serve my greater purpose? Think about how your words will impact the situation, and if they don't add value, then remain silent. This silence is not weakness, it's power. It's the strength to control your emotions and to protect your reputation. A Stoic man knows that he doesn't have to respond to everything. Not every comment needs a reply, not every criticism needs a defense. By choosing when and how to speak, you set yourself apart. You show others that you are in control, that you are not swayed by impulse or emotion, and that your words are not to be taken lightly. In the next moments, try to be more conscious of the words you speak. Are they filled with wisdom? Are they intentional, or are they simply a reaction? Remember, speech is not just about talking, it's about communicating with purpose and impact. A man who masters this will never be easily forgotten. His words will be powerful because he has taken the time to consider them. So let this be a guiding principle in your life. Master your words, and you master your life. When you control your speech, you control the narrative around you, you earn respect, you build trust, and you begin to see the incredible power in choosing your words carefully. 2. The art of speaking less. Why? Silence is power. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers and a former slave who rose to great intellectual heights, famously taught this powerful principle. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. It's a simple yet profound truth that many overlook in today's noisy, fast-paced world. The Stoic wisdom in those words is timeless, and it holds the key to understanding one of the most important virtues a man can develop: the art of speaking less and listening more. Too many men, particularly in today's age, feel the constant pressure to speak, to share their thoughts, to voice their opinions, or to contribute to every conversation. But here's the catch. Men who talk too much often reveal their weaknesses. They expose their plans, their emotions, their vulnerabilities, all the things that are best kept under control. When you speak excessively, you often give others insight into your insecurities and your inability to control your impulses. You lose the power of mystery, and with it, the power of influence. A Stoic man, however, understands that true power lies not in how much he speaks, but in how wisely he chooses to remain silent. Silence is not weakness, it is strength. It's the strength to hold back, to observe, to reflect, and to choose the right moment to speak. When you speak too often, people begin to take your words for granted. They no longer hang on your every word. But when you speak rarely and with intention, your words carry more weight, more authority, and more respect. Look at some of the most successful and respected leaders throughout history: military generals, CEOs, political figures, and wise philosophers. What do they all have in common? They don't waste words. They understand the value of silence. Their power comes from their ability to listen deeply, to observe the world around them, and to respond only when it truly matters. Their words are carefully measured, calculated, and delivered with precision. Think about it. How often do you find yourself talking to fill the silence or to avoid discomfort? How often do you speak just because you feel like you need to be heard? In doing so, you risk losing the power of your presence. When you speak too much, your words become diluted. They lose their impact. People stop paying attention. But when you speak sparingly, when your words are few but powerful, people listen. Every time you open your mouth, they pay attention. They know that what you say is important. They know that your words carry weight. And that, my friend, is a position of true power. Think about great military generals like Alexander the Great, or modern CEOs like Steve Jobs. These men were not known for speaking all the time. In fact, many of them were known for their quiet strength. They understood that what you don't say is often more powerful than what you do say. They spent more time listening, observing, and strategizing than they did speaking. And when they did speak, people listened because they knew it was worth hearing. This is not about being silent out of fear or insecurity. It's about being silent with purpose. The Stoic approach is not to avoid speech altogether, but to recognize that your silence can be more powerful than your words. Now let's put this principle into action. Practice this today. Next time you find yourself in a conversation, spend more time listening than talking. Resist the urge to jump in and offer your opinion or dominate the conversation. Instead, listen attentively. Watch the dynamics of the conversation unfold. Observe the emotions and motivations of those around you. When it's your turn to speak, make sure your words are precise, meaningful, and intentional. When you speak with authority and clarity, your words will have a much greater impact. This shift from talking to listening, from speaking without thought to speaking with intention, will immediately elevate your presence. You will become a man of wisdom and strength. People will begin to see you as someone who is in control, someone who doesn't waste his energy on trivial chatter, but who only speaks when it matters. And that, my friend, is the mark of a man who has mastered the art of speaking less and listening more. Remember, silence is not your enemy, it's your ally. It's the space that allows your thoughts to mature and your words to resonate. In the end, the less you speak, the more powerful your words become. 3. The dangers of emotional speech. Why a Stoic man never reacts. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, left us with an invaluable piece of advice. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. It's a simple yet incredibly powerful lesson, one that every man, especially in the heat of the moment, would benefit from remembering. Why? Because anger and impulsive speech are often the root causes of regret. Think about it. How many times have you said something in anger only to regret it later? How many relationships, careers, and opportunities have been damaged because of words spoken in haste? The unfortunate reality is that far too many men today fall into this trap. They let their emotions take control, allowing them to speak without thinking. They react rather than respond, and in doing so, they lose their composure, their dignity, and their power. But a Stoic man doesn't fall prey to this. He understands that when emotions rise, intelligence falls. When you speak in the heat of the moment, you are no longer speaking with reason or logic. You are speaking from a place of raw emotion, and that is when your words become dangerous. A Stoic man knows that in those moments of emotional intensity, the most powerful thing he can do is stay silent. Silence is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of control. It's the mark of a man who refuses to be enslaved by his emotions. The moment you speak out of anger, you hand over your power, you lose control, and you let your emotions dictate your behavior. But the man who remains calm, even in the most stressful situations, is the one who retains control. He is the one who commands respect. Let me give you an example. Have you ever been in a situation where someone insults you, criticizes you, or tries to provoke you? The instinctive reaction is to fight back, to defend yourself, to come up with the perfect comeback. But the Stoic way is different. The Stoic way is to pause. In the face of an insult or provocation, don't react. Instead, take a deep breath, let the storm of emotion pass, and then respond if necessary, calmly and with strength. When you speak with composure, when you speak with the calm of someone who is in full control of their emotions, your words become infinitely more powerful than any hasty retort could ever be. Here's why. Silence in the face of anger is stronger than any comeback. When you refuse to engage in the emotional drama, you disarm the situation. You show that you are above petty insults and provocations. You show that your strength lies not in reacting, but in controlling your emotions. It's like a shield that protects your peace and your power. The moment you allow your emotions to take over and fire back with an emotional response, you lose that shield. You put yourself on the same level as those trying to provoke you. This doesn't mean that you should never speak in moments of conflict. What it means is that you should never speak in anger. Speak with clarity, speak with purpose, and speak when you've had time to let your emotions settle. When you respond from a place of calmness and wisdom, your words will carry more authority. People will respect you more, and they will begin to see you as someone who has the strength to remain composed in even the most trying circumstances. So, here's the challenge. Starting today, Whenever you feel the urge to respond emotionally, whether it's to an insult, a criticism, or a provocation, pause, take a step back, walk away from the situation if necessary. Give yourself time to cool off, let the storm settle, then return to the situation with clarity and control. Think carefully before you speak. Are your words aligned with your purpose? Are they thoughtful, measured, and wise? If so, speak. If not, stay silent. This is how a Stoic strongman operates. He doesn't let his emotions dictate his speech. He doesn't allow himself to be baited into a reactive response. Instead, he maintains his composure and speaks only when it is necessary, wise, and purposeful. This is the key to maintaining your power and authority in every situation. Remember, true strength is found in restraint. The man who reacts emotionally has already lost the battle. The man who remains calm, composed, and in control of his emotions is the one who wins, not just in the moment, but in the long run. Practice delay, practice silence, and watch as your power grows. 4. Words and reputation. How to speak with authority and respect. Your reputation as a man, your very presence in this world, is shaped not just by your actions, but also by your words. What you say and how you say it directly impact how others perceive you. If you speak carelessly, you risk losing the respect of those around you. If you speak with discipline and intention, you earn it, and this is no accident. The men who command the most respect throughout history, from philosophers to generals to statesmen, understood one core truth. Your words are as powerful as your actions, and both need to be treated with the utmost respect. One man who embodied this principle was Cato the Younger, a Roman statesman and one of the most respected figures in Stoic philosophy. Cato was renowned for his calm, measured approach to speech. He was never one to speak for the sake of speaking. He didn't seek the approval of others by filling silence with empty words. He spoke only when it was absolutely necessary, and when he did, every word was deliberate, impactful, and full of purpose. His enemies feared him not just for his actions, but because they knew that each word he uttered was calculated, precise, and dangerous. Why was this so important? Because Cato understood that words carry weight, and he knew how to use that weight to command respect. When you speak intentionally, when your words are thoughtful and direct, you create an aura of authority around you. People start to listen. They pay attention to every word you say because they know that when you speak, it matters. So what does this mean for you? How can you begin to speak with the same authority and respect as Cato did? It starts with adopting a mindset of discipline in your speech. Don't speak to impress others. Many men fall into the trap of speaking just to be liked or to fit in, but this is not how a Stoic man operates. Instead, speak to communicate value. When you open your mouth, your words should carry purpose. You should have something to offer. Every conversation, every interaction should be an opportunity to contribute value, not to fill silence or entertain. This doesn't mean you should remain silent all the time. It means you should choose your moments carefully. Never speak unless you have something meaningful to say. Never explain yourself unnecessarily. When you explain yourself too much, it undermines your credibility. It signals that you are insecure, that you feel the need to justify your actions or opinions. A Stoic man does not need to explain himself to anyone. His actions speak for themselves, and when he speaks, it's with confidence and authority. Another key point: never gossip. Gossip is the language of the weak. It is the weapon of those who seek validation or entertainment at the expense of others. A Stoic man does not waste his energy gossiping. He does not engage in idle chatter about others. He focuses on what matters, and that includes treating the words he speaks with respect. Gossip tarnishes your reputation and erodes your integrity. Furthermore, never make promises you can't keep. When you make a promise, You are binding your word to an action. To break a promise is to break trust, and once trust is broken, it's incredibly difficult to rebuild. So speak only when you know you can follow through. Speak with integrity. Your word should be your bond. And most importantly, when you do speak, be firm, be confident, and be concise. Confidence does not mean arrogance. It means knowing what you want to say and saying it with clarity. It means not filling your speech with ums and ahs or apologizing for what you say. Confidence is about delivering your message clearly without hesitation or doubt. Speak with conviction, and people will respect you for it. Here's a powerful exercise you can do to start implementing these principles. Start by observing yourself. Pay attention to the moments when you speak. Are you speaking to fill the silence, or are you speaking with purpose? Are you explaining yourself too much? Are you engaging in gossip? Once you become aware of these habits, begin to change them. Next time you speak, ask yourself, is this valuable? Is it necessary? Will it build my reputation or diminish it? If the answer is no, don't say it. When you adopt this discipline in your speech, something powerful will happen. People will begin to respect your words. Your reputation as a man of purpose, strength, and integrity will grow. Your presence will carry weight. You will no longer be a man who speaks often, but a man who speaks with intention. And people will listen not because you speak often, but because when you do speak, your words are filled with power. Remember, your reputation is built on the consistency of your words and actions. A man who speaks with authority and respect commands attention, builds trust, and earns admiration. If you want to be that man, begin today. Speak with purpose, speak with power, speak with discipline, and watch as the world around you begins to take notice. 5. The final mastery: how to always control your speech. Now that you've absorbed the critical principles of disciplined speech, it's time to take this knowledge and make it a part of your daily life. The key to mastering your words is repetition. It's not enough to simply understand the theory. You need to practice it consistently until it becomes second nature. Here's how to do just that. 1. Practice the pause. Always think before you speak. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is the ability to pause before you speak. In those crucial moments, before you react or respond, take a second to breathe. This simple practice is the foundation of controlled speech. Why does this matter so much? The pause gives you time to think. It allows you to filter out unnecessary or harmful words that may come from emotional impulses. Whether you're in a heated conversation, an argument, or simply trying to make a point, that brief moment of pause allows you to collect your thoughts and deliver a response that is calm, clear, and purposeful. Incorporating this pause into your life will help you slow down your reactions, creating a space between what you feel and what you say. That space is where your power lies. When you choose to pause, you've already won half the battle. 2. Choose your words carefully. Make every word count. Not every thought or idea needs to be shared immediately, and not every conversation requires a constant stream of words. The Stoic man knows that every word he speaks must serve a clear purpose. Ask yourself this: does what I'm about to say contribute something valuable? If the answer is no, don't say it. Think about the impact your words will have. Will they add value to the conversation? Will they improve the situation or harm it? A man of discipline doesn't speak for the sake of speaking. He speaks to communicate clarity, value, and strength. When you speak with purpose, people will begin to respect you. You'll earn their attention because they know that when you open your mouth, your words matter. 3. Avoid gossip and complaining. Protect your integrity. Strong men don't waste time on meaningless talk. Gossip and complaining are the weapons of the weak. They drain your energy and tarnish your reputation. The moment you engage in gossip, you lower yourself to the level of those who seek validation by tearing others down. Complaining is equally destructive. It signals that you lack control over your own emotions and circumstances. Instead, focus on constructive conversations. Speak about solutions, not problems. Talk about what can be done, not what's wrong. Make your words matter by speaking about the actions you can take, the lessons you've learned, and the direction you're headed in. By eliminating gossip and complaining from your life, you elevate your speech and your character. You'll be known as a man who speaks with purpose, not a man who wastes time on negativity. 4. Embrace silence, the power of saying. Less silence is not weakness. It's a sign of power. The more you speak, the more likely you are to say something you regret. The less you speak, the more your words will carry weight. A Stoic strong man knows that silence is often more powerful than words. When you embrace silence, you become a man who speaks only when it truly matters. People will begin to notice this. They'll see that when you speak, you have something important to say, and they'll listen more intently. In today's world, silence is often underrated. But the ability to stay quiet, to listen, to observe, and to choose your moments wisely is a crucial skill. The less you say, the more power your words will have when you finally decide to speak. 5. Respond, never react. Control your emotions. First, then speak. Reacting is the act of giving in to your emotions in the heat of the moment. Responding is the act of thinking clearly, stepping back from the emotional storm, and delivering a measured reply. A Stoic strongman never reacts emotionally. He knows that when emotions take over, intelligence and clarity fade. To master your speech, you must first master your emotions. The next time you feel provoked, whether in an argument, at work, or with a loved one, pause and take control of your emotions first. Don't react. Step back and give yourself time to think. Once the emotions subside, you can respond with wisdom and strength. This discipline gives you an unparalleled ability to control situations rather than being controlled by them. You will become the calm in the storm, the steady presence everyone turns to for guidance and clarity. Now the work begins. Mastering your speech is not a one-time achievement, it's a lifelong practice. Start small, and over time, you will see significant changes in how people perceive you and how you perceive yourself. As you continue to practice these Stoic principles of speech, you'll notice an increase in your influence, respect, and self-control. So now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know which of these Stoic speech principles you will start applying today, whether it's the pause before speaking, the power of silence, or responding without reacting. I want to know what step you're taking to improve your communication. I read every comment, and I want to see who is ready to master the art of disciplined speech. Until next time, speak wisely, stay strong, and live as a Stoic man.